The big brother used the power of money to marry the beautiful live-streaming hostess as he wished. Who would have thought that after the big brother brought her home with a hefty betrothal gift, the hostess just ran away? After several trials, the big brother discovered that his wife had gone back to her old profession, live streaming, and was hooking up with young men every day.
他婶婶是这么说，他说他找了一个比他是小7岁还不是5岁。
你老婆找了一个比他小几岁的男友？
对。
The number one big brother was a truck driver. Back in 2015, he could easily make over 100,000 yuan a year. But there was something that bothered him. Now, over 40 years old, he was still a bachelor, desperately longing for a genuine relationship. So, whenever he had free time, he would open a live-streaming app to watch beautiful girls. Since he had no other place to spend his money, he used it all on tipping them. With the beauty filter on, every woman online looks gorgeous, which is hard to resist. Even the big brother himself looked like an absolute beauty with the filter on. It was at this time that he met his young and beautiful wife.
他搞是美女主播，而且
她是美女主播。
对呀。
He was deeply attracted to her looks and tipped her astronomical amounts of money. Finally, the day arrived when they met offline. But the big brother noticed that the beauty's looks online were a bit different from offline. Though the difference was significant, the big brother had already invested so much money. He warned himself not to judge based on appearances. Maybe she was kind-hearted. The beauty also assured him that she would never betray such a man who loved her so much.
他也答应我，老公，你放心，我长得又胖，现实中这个有美人的个人，拍出去很漂亮，但是我人去见面，别人会要我吗？我就相信他，再就是我们感情好啊。我哪里想到会有这种结果呢？
Soon, the big brother and the beauty hostess got married, and they thought they would live happily ever after. But who knew that just a year into their marriage, his wife ran away with his money. The big brother went mad searching for her, but he couldn't find her. Later, someone secretly told the big brother that his wife was now keeping a younger man. The big brother nearly exploded. Over the past year, he had handed over 90% of his salary, and even hired a nanny for his wife and father-in-law. A year ago, his wife had promised that she would never betray him. For this, he hired a mediator with a camera to expose his wife's actions and see if there was any way to salvage the relationship.
我真的莫名其妙，我不信你为什么要跟我老婆走，我感到莫名其妙的。
莫名其妙吗？
有什么事你给我讲。
你不打我会发生这后面的事情吗？
什么时候打的你啊？下个，我
结婚啊。
那你上你登记来。那你上你来，那登记来。
When the beauty hostess saw the mediator arrive, she immediately claimed that the big brother had abused her first. Otherwise, why would she go find a young man? Then she said that her husband was really paranoid. Sometimes when she was a few hours late coming home, her husband would suspect she was out fooling around. As for the nanny her husband hired, she asked him to provide evidence of that. Later, the beauty hostess admitted that the nanny's fees for the past few months had been paid by her husband. However, she said it was because her husband wanted to win her back.
我10月份你生活费的我都给的嘞，现在是10月份啊，是吧？10月份生活我就放在叔叔家里了嘞，放在叔叔那里，叔叔再给保姆哎。
你每一次拿，你都会让他立下字据的。
是啊。
今天从陈家领取保姆工资，2015年4月22号到5月22号，1个月。
The big brother took out a stack of receipts. He said that after they got married, he had always been faithful to his duties as a husband. As a son-in-law, he had taken on the responsibility of taking care of his father-in-law, even paying the father-in-law's living expenses and the nanny's fee of 2,000 yuan per month during the months when his wife was missing.
你说我敢单独跟他相处吗？我不敢，真的不敢。
就是你对他来说不光是没有信任感，你现在感觉就是连
恐惧。
连最基础的安全感都没有。
对，没有。
你是害怕跟他在一起的生活以后，
突然他一个想法不对的话，说不定自己怎么死都不知道。对。
我会要杀了你，我要你 你小心啊！我告诉你，就是这个方法。第一个办法是流水，第二个办法是泼汽油在你身上，然后
这是他给你发的，最近给你发的是吗？
做的这么多，我会把你个脸蛋给你，我们一起告诉你，我会给你聊生甩你的晕。
When the beauty hostess was young, her mother passed away, and when she became an adult, her father had a stroke, which left him partially paralyzed. The two of them relied entirely on her. But she was just a kindergarten teacher, making about 2,000 yuan a month, so she reluctantly became a beauty hostess to supplement the family's income. Her goal was to make money, not anything else. But later, when she learned that her number one supporter, the big brother, was actually just a truck driver, making more than 10,000 yuan a month, despite his older age, she began to have thoughts about marriage. What bothered her, however, was that after marriage, her husband didn't allow her to continue live streaming and wouldn't give her any living expenses. His salary was never handed over to her. At this time, the villagers also had something to say, pointing out that the man's paranoia was notorious in the village. Did she ever think about why he was still single at over 40 years old despite making more than 10,000 yuan a month? It was because of his overly suspicious nature. The big brother had been married before, but just a few days into the marriage, his paranoid nature had chased his wife away.
你弄得过个劲，一会儿不拿可以的要的吧？
他没有拿过钱回来吗？
没有，没有拿过，
没有拿过钱回来。
没有。
那他爸爸一直的这个生活费、保姆费是谁在付嘞？
对，我的侄女买的啊，他呀。
Although the mediator had gathered numerous pieces of evidence showing the big brother's mistakes, the mediation continued. The mediator invited both parties to the local community center for further help. However, as soon as they arrived, the big brother immediately knelt down to apologize and begged his wife for forgiveness.
好吧，对不起，要不，好，错了，你还原谅我，要不好吗？
好，
好不好？
停，
好不好？停。
Despite the big brother begging for forgiveness, after seeing his wife's determined attitude, she finally declared that she was still going to divorce him. Seeing his wife's attitude so firm, the big brother immediately threw a tantrum and rolled on the floor. In the end, he agreed to the divorce.
我要神经啊！我一会儿前一次，我跟你，哎呦你太烦了！
我刚才确实我也吓死了，真的。如果这样的话，我也承受不了。就是说两点，要么和平离婚，要么起诉离婚。
你就说你愿意跟他过了。
是的。
In the end, this marriage was between two imperfect people who misjudged each other in both reality and fantasy. The big brother's mistake was using the most direct and dangerous method to pursue love, spending money. He treated tipping as genuine affection and marriage as a reward, but ignored the fact that love is never bought with money. Before marriage, he threw money around, but after marriage, he suddenly began to control, restrict, and unwilling to give anymore. This wasn't mature love, but rather a possessive desire under the guise of a transactional mentality. But was the beauty hostess really innocent? She'd had come from an unfortunate family and made a tough choice for survival. But knowing she didn't truly love this man, she still accepted the high betrothal gift, made promises, and then quickly ran away after marriage, even going back to her old job and hooking up with a younger man. This wasn't just for survival, it was a complete betrayal. Both of them thought the other could satisfy their needs. One wanted to buy warmth, and the other wanted to marry into reality. But neither truly understood the other or ever truly trusted each other. So, today's outcome, there is no absolute victim or absolute perpetrator. They are just two adults, each carrying their own desires, fears, and illusions, stepping into a transaction that was doomed to end without resolution. What do you think? Was the big brother really too foolish? Was the beauty hostess only after money, not people? Or were they both pushed to this point by reality? We welcome you to share your thoughts in the comment section. We want to hear, whose side are you on? If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.